So this whole time I've been trying to make a creative game, an interesting game with my own original characters, and inject a lot of my own personality into the game. But lately I've been thinking that game development is not all about originality. It's also about chasing trends and cloning whatever games are popular. So with that in mind, I was thinking about taking my game in a totally new direction. So if you go on Steam right now, you can see that the biggest game of all time is this new Elden Rings game. It sold like so many millions of copies in just a few weeks. Elden Rings is by From Software, the makers of Dark Souls. And if you've never heard of Dark Souls, it is a grim, dark fantasy game that revolves around difficult hand-to-hand combat. And this game was so popular that it was copied so many times it became a whole genre in and of itself. And Elden Ring is like the culmination. This is like the peak of the Dark Souls-like craze that's just been sweeping the game industry. So this, my friends, is the state of the art when it comes to popular gaming. This is where you want to be. So this is the direction that I'm taking my game now. Alright, so here's Maddie, one of our player characters. You can see she's standing at the top of this epic castle holding a giant grim dark fantasy sword. Yeah, she's ready to do some action, some serious RPG combat, massively reducing the enemy's hit points. And you'll see when we get out there that we have a giant world to explore, and that's what really brings the value to these games, is the giant, massive world. You just put in as many kilometers as possible. Even the starting area is massive. This big area where you just walk and walk and walk. And that's what makes these games fun, is you just walk and walk, and there's so much to see and explore, and it's so expansive. It's like you never run out of content. And there's buildings to explore. This one's empty. Let's see what's in here. Oh yeah, this one's empty too. There's a cool throne because we're in this medieval fantasy setting, and it's so epic. See how you can just walk and walk? This is great. This is what we want here. This is what the gamers are clamoring for. This walking around in this giant castle. It's just so amazing, so epic. And yeah, look at Maddie with that big sword. You really feel like you're an epic fantasy hero in this game. And I'm gonna go in here, and you can see there's some beds which you can rest and it restores your hit points, but then also the enemies restore. And also you can see on this table we have all these different weapons and armor that you can equip. So I'm gonna stay with my big sword because that's where I put all my skill points. That's big sword weapon proficiency. Now here's our other player character, Neville, and he's encountered looks like an orcish warlord, and this is where it gets really exciting, because this is where we have the intense combat that actually requires a lot of skill and dodge rolling. You have to know when to dodge roll. That's oops. Oh, and we got a little Skyrim action going on here too. That's a little ragdoll. Oh man. Okay. I wasn't expecting that to happen, honestly. Oh yeah, but anyway, I've never actually played Dark Souls, but from what I understand, the strategy is that you... Oh. the strategy is that you poke the enemy with your sword once, and then you dodge roll before the enemy gets a chance to retaliate. And then you're safe if you can dodge roll fast enough. And then, so once you do that, then you just repeat the process 20 to 40 more times, however many hit points the enemy has. Because, you know, any fool can get lucky, you know, and do it 3 times. But when you can do it 20 times or 30 times or 40 times, that's when you've really proven that you've mastered the art of combat. And that is the challenge of the game, is to master that combat, is to be able to do the same thing over and over again without making any mistakes. You know, you make a few mistakes and you're pretty much done. Alright. How many times have I hit him now? Probably like 10. I'm not sure. I don't remember how many hit points he has, but let me see. See, this is the beginning of the game, where the enemies are kind of slow and sluggish, but it gets harder as you go along. Oh. Oh well, looks like I'm gonna have to practice and get good, because there's no easy mode. So anyway, I think you can see where I'm going with this. I'm really excited. You tell me what you think in the comments.